thanks for checking out Album Face's first episode of The Donkey Spoke. I'm Abigail, the writer slash founder, however you want to phrase it, of Album Face. Today I've got my good friends with me, Yemi and Crystal. Yemi and Crystal, tell us something about yourselves.
Hi, I am Yemi. I'm from London. I love the uprising gospel scene. Love it. Love it.
Hi guys, I'm Crystal. I love absolutely all arts unto the Lord. I'm from Luton 10. Luton.
So a quick introduction, sorry I should have said at the beginning, if you don't know what Album Face is, it's basically a blog that analyses album covers, so you can get that at albumface.tumblr.com. So this is a spin-off, The Donkey Spoke. I'm not going to elaborate too much on what that means, but there's a story in the Bible in which a donkey spoke. If you hit Album Face, you can read about why this spin-off is sort of going on and a little bit more about what the meaning is. So in a similar fashion, we're going to be looking at music videos, and this is our first episode, so bear with us. We might be a bit rough around the edges. But for our first video, we are discussing Uncle Reece's Until I Pass Out.
There is no other option.
And that was directed by Will Thomas. So if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link on the screen, or there should be a link on the screen now, so you can watch it, check it out, because what we're about to say probably won't make that much sense if you haven't seen it. So I'm going to throw out some Yemi or Crystal. They're going to sort of share what their thoughts were on the video.
Okay, just briefly. So the first thing I noticed about the video was it began when he just put his earphones in. He was in the zone, but he was still in the city. The second thing is the choice to use like loads of bricks in like city sort of location, and probably he was wearing loads of army print. There was hints of red. He had loads of different outfits on. That's what I noticed.
Okay, we'll come back to some of that because that was interesting. I want to hear more about it. Yemi, what
I was really looking at the plot, the whole storyline. The video begins with tons of different sort of scenes chopped up in there, and it's basically unrestricted, him going hard in worship no matter where he is. And then you get people drawn to him, they're all looking at him through a window, and the most unconventional character, the most unexpected looking, eccentric looking person is the one who then leads them into where Uncle Reece is worshipping. And then at the end they're all going hard with him, and then right at the very end the last thing you see is him on his knees, humble before God, just giving all the worship back to him. And yeah, I think that will come up later about why that is.
Okay, that's nice. It's different, totally different things. I mean, for me, I was like, one of the things I noticed, sort of maybe what you said about Crystal about the light, the bricks even in that shop, in the shop that he's in, the use of the light in the darkness, like where he was where the light was, and also the kind of idea of remaining vigilant, like you said, Yemi, like him just worshipping and just keep persevering, and then you see that fruit at the end where all the people come in, and then he's just there like humble. And then also the the use of different locations, actually, like what you were saying, Crystal, about the built up city, but it's kind of like you jump to sort of like the gritty area. And then you've got it's got a nice balance, but it just still has this kind of rawness of just just do it, like let's just worship and kind of thing. But Crystal, I want to jump on what you said about the headphones thing, because that was just so like, I don't know, it's an interesting point to pick up. So why did you think of that like as one of the main things?
Because like, when you're out and you put your earphones in, it's like you go off into your own zone. But when he put his earphones in, it was like he was in his own zone, but like he was still walking in the city. So it was like he's just worshipping unrestricted. He's in the city, cars are driving, he doesn't care, like he's just going in, like there's no sort of lowering of the worship. It's just hard all the way through.
Yeah, no inhibitions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's true. And I guess that's kind of like a bit of what you were saying as well, Yemi, innit? Kind of the worship.
Yeah, the scenes keep chopping, and then we have the fact that he's in an alleyway as well, and he's still worshipping amidst like a dark and dingy place. He's just going in, no matter where the scene is. So
yeah, it's true actually, because even like I was saying about the locations, you pointed out the alleyway, like And Crystal, even you saying about the red, because you've got kind of this red wall in terms of, I mean, we can direct it straight to the blood of Christ. I mean, it's an easy analogy to make. And then you've got the alleyway, that gritty place that he's just worshipping and going hard. And one of the things that I've noticed in there is that there's an open door. And I was like, okay, like, because initially I was like, why is he there? Like, it's not even a good place to dance. There's obstructions in the way, and you know, like, it's just like, oh, like, why that environment? I mean, I assume it was a deliberate choice by the director, but that open door there, and then kind of when you get to the main shop where all the people are, and then that guy, like you said, he goes and he opens that door. It's kind of like that perseverance, that pushing into Christ, open that door kind of thing. And then it's like it opened it and allowed, like, for all the people to kind of come in and just like be there, like, with him, sort of thing. I don't know. And even, I guess I'm proper like pulling out everything you guys are saying, but Crystal, you pointed about the army print as well, and that kind of idea of like diligence and vigilance at the same time.
He's pressing in. It's war. It's a warfare.
Yeah, that kind of idea, of war, and I don't know. But excuse me, there was other people who wore the army print as well, wasn't there? In there,
yeah.
It wasn't just
I think the drummer had army print, or is it a red hat? I can't remember. Whoa.
No, he had a red hat and the army print actually.
Yeah. And then the eccentric guy, he had army print as well. So it's like definitely on the warfare. Oh yeah, my goodness.
That is definitely on purpose, because he's the one who leads them in as well. Yeah. It's like
because he had the red and the "Without Jesus I Suck." That's what they had on under. Yeah, because the drummer had the red hat, the army print, and the "Without Jesus I Suck." Then the other, you know what? Those great choices. They were great choices, because that correspondence of the characters and kind of I'm gonna have to watch it again now, because even I want to see the timing wise, because Uncle Reece changed his outfit a few times, but I did notice that the red, and actually when they all come in and they're watching, there's actually a red like lead, you know, like you get, I don't even know, a wire or whatever, the coating on the wire. There's actually a red wire on the floor, and it kind of points to that where they're showing it on the floor. I just like lifeline, that kind of idea of a lifeline, and then you put the different other people wearing the red. Yeah, it was so subtle. I was like, oh, I really like that, because it was where there's a part where they all come in, it cuts to the light, the idea of, like, obviously the light shining in the darkness. When they all come in, they're standing around, and then I think it's just slightly after that. But there's some outstanding things in there. But I mean, we could talk for ages, but let's not do that, because, you know, there's so many great things in the video as a whole. But I think one thing that I guess we've all kind of touched on is that kind of transparency of worship, and just kind of putting it all there, and then seeing how God brought those people in, kind of thing. And just like when he was exalted, you know what I mean? Like, through him being exalted, people were drawn onto him. And I think that, excuse me, I think it's John 12:32 that it says, and if I'm lifted up from the earth, that will draw all men onto, well, Jesus saying he'll draw all men onto himself. And I think that is the perfect illustration of that. Yeah, it is John 12:32. It's the perfect illustration of that. So I think that's a nice note to end on before we end up chatting for time. But so first episode, let us know what you think. Yemi, Crystal, joining me, my good friends. Obviously, shouting out Uncle Reece, the director, Will Thomas. You got to throw out Straight and Nrrw clothing as well. And actually, Straight and Nrrw are doing a campaign at the moment, but I'll put the link in the bottom, because I don't want to let this video go on for too long. But it's a great campaign. Check it out. And tweet us or follow us on Tumblr, or follow me on Tumblr. These girls are just joining me for now. But I'm going to stop talking. Thank you for tuning in. And
thank you, guys.
Hope you enjoy.
Let us know what you think.